Welcome to Inside City Hall, the show where we take a closer look at your city government through the lens of its boards and commissions. In this show, we'll meet the volunteer commissioners and board members who provide expertise and guidance in critical decision-making that affects our community. Journey with us as we take an insider's look into the legislative process. Hi, I'm Autumn King and welcome to Inside City Hall. Today we are joined by the members of the Youth Advisory Commission. And we are joined today by staff member Karina Liu, peer advisor Devarani Dharmapalan. We have Commissioner Benjamin Salep and Commissioner Kimura Oliver. Welcome all of you. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
I love it. I'm so glad that you guys came. We've been having some fun chit-chatting off camera about what you all do, and I'm really excited to share that with our listeners at home. Karina, I'm going to start with you as the staff person. Can you give me a little bit about what the commission is and what you all do?
Sure. So the Oakland Youth Advisory Commission has been around since 1985. It is a commission appointed by the mayor's office, made up to 25 youth of 13 to 21 years of age.
13 to 21. Do you know why they chose that age range? Is there a reason why? So do you focus on specifically high school students? Do you want them to have that understanding afterwards? Because it's going past high school into kind of the college years. Do you know why you all have decided that?
I think the reason why the Youth Commission was established initially was because of a response to the level of violence that was happening in Oakland in the 1980s. And so the commission was created to advise City Council on any number of issues affecting youth, consisting of incarceration, public safety, domestic violence, so on and so forth. And so I think that range was to encompass the youth that would be affected by these types of issues.
That makes sense. Those are a lot of heavy topics. So the three of you, anyone who wants to jump in, have you all, tell us some of the topics that you all have seen and that you've been advising on.
Well, at the moment, we're still learning about the community and trying to figure out what exactly is currently affecting us. But what we have seen that is important is, again, restorative justice and the violence, as well as just homelessness, food insecurity, and then voting rights and civic engagement.
So what does that mean, learning the community? What work do you all do to have a better understanding of Oakland?
The commission gets each term on the commission has 2 years.
Okay.
And so we just started a new term for the commissioners. And so Benjamin Salep and Kimura Oliver just joined in September.
Okay.
And so they're still learning a lot about the city's issues. And we've been having guest speakers come to the meetings to share what's happening. So they can talk more about some of the workshops they've already experienced. Whereas Devarani here has been part of the commission for 5 years, and she's a peer advisor. She's termed out. She's served the maximum number of terms possible for the Youth Commission, but she's returning to advise the commissioners because she has so much experience. So she can also talk about what she's done, which I would say she has a lot of experience.
Let's hear it. Tell us some of the projects you've worked on.
Yeah, well, really our role in the city government is to relay information from the youth and bring it directly to city council members and other city officials. So we do a lot of work with organizations from around the city, particularly ones that are pertaining to youth issues. and we're able to give them input on like what we think that they should do to improve their programs and really just help them like elevate their program so that it's, you know, more accessible for youth in Oakland, you know.
That sounds like a lot of work for young people. That sounds like you might be intimidated by the adults in the room. Some of them are elected officials, some of them are directors. What does that feel like for you all to be advising adults and people that are in these roles?
Well, I'd say that we have a lot to say, and we do have a lot of ideas. And so what we're currently doing a lot is focusing on offering a different perspective. So we just sometimes add little comments and ideas when they present to us. And during our presentations, we most recently had one yesterday from the Environmental Plan of Oakland, and they just had a 10-minute section where we listed off ideas of how to reach out to youth and how to focus on issues that were important to youth.
So then, Kimora, I'm going to go back to you on that. Give me a day in the life of a commissioner. So I joined one of your meetings recently. I joined two of them, actually, stayed for a few minutes. Give the viewers a feel for a day in the life of a youth commissioner.
Okay, so I'll just kind of take what we did yesterday. So we kind of came in at like 4:30, and then it's like a soft start and then a hard start at 5 o'clock. And then we had two presenters yesterday, but the one about climate change was presenting, and they kind of have a presentation and show us, this is what I'm thinking, this is what like the corporation is thinking, like to do with the city of Oakland, like this is what we're thinking. And then it opens the floor to us. We can always jump in and say, okay, well, what about this? Have you ever thought about this? What impact will this have on the city of Oakland? Like, have you thought about these things? And it's really nice to see that representatives like actually care about what we're talking about, like the youth of Oakland. Like, we advocate for the youth of Oakland, so it's really good to get our input.
And is it always a member of city staff that comes and presents to you all, or is it other outside entities as well?
A little bit of both. Yeah, sometimes we have groups coming from just like around the city that, you know, work on these youth issues just outside of the government, and then there are also like a lot of departments that come in within the city that we're able to work with and help give our input on what we have.
So you guys have a pulse on really what's going on, not just in the community, but also within the walls of City Hall. So you all are inside City Hall for the most part. You've got that inside look.
Right.
That's really awesome. Quickly before we go to break, can you let us know your favorite presenter thus far? Some of the, I know you two are new, but you've had a few, and Devarani, you've been around. What is your favorite? Who is your favorite? I know I've yet to present in front of you all. So our department has not, but you know. That'll be the answer the next time.
Just because I can't think of a lot from like my past years, I think the one that we had yesterday was actually really interesting. She came in to talk about the city's plan for helping to work on environmental sustainability.
Excellent.
And what the city has planned just to kind of cut back on like waste and make that also an accessible thing so that everybody in the city can actually participate in cutting back on waste and all of those things. And just because climate change is such a huge issue that's going to be, you know, impacting the youth, because the youth is the future, that's something that I find very important and that all the youth commissioners find very important is climate change. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, I think this is a great time to take a break. We will go to break, come back, and talk a little bit more to the Youth Advisory Commission. Thanks so much for watching. This is Inside City Hall. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Inside City Hall. Once again, we are joined today by the Youth Advisory Commission. So right before break, we were talking a little bit about the things that you all do, and you were giving us a day in the life. Tell me a little bit more about the reason why you've decided to join this commission. You're volunteering your time, you're youth, you're young, you could be out hanging out and having a good time. Why is it that you've decided that once a month, a few times a month, you're going to give up your time and come to City Hall and have long meetings, show up at the dais, all of those things? What keeps you coming?
Well, I don't really have a life outside of school and stuff, so it's not as if I'm missing out on hanging out with people.
I think there's more to it, Ben.
Yeah.
Tell us why you started in the first place. What got you interested in joining?
Well, I would say that this past over the summer, I was a Cora Youth Fellow, which is a leadership program where we learn about advocacy and community engagement like this. And I had a really great friend named Raksha who advised me to join this. She was a youth commissioner in her city of Santa Clara. And so I learned about it, and I just decided that the youth commission would be such a great opportunity for me to help advocate for my school and hopefully secure some funding or some interest from the city to help solve some of the issues and help create a more nurturing environment for the students to learn.
How's it been so far?
Well, at the moment, we just got soap and paper towels, which is
You just got soap and paper towels for the commission?
for the school.
Through your commission work, you were able to.
Indirectly, I mean, I think that
Ben, you are a man who gets
something
things
is
done.
happening. Yeah.
So soap and paper towels.
Yeah, and then right now I'm also working on a piece of legislation to help lower the voting age for school board elections.
Those are
So-
two very different things,
Yeah.
Mr. Ben.
I'm
Very
doing
different
a lot of
things.
things.
I like that. You cover the gamut. Kimora, what brought you to the commission?
I personally was just looking for more ways to get involved in the community. Specifically, I wanted to go in to see if I could help improve the relationship between law enforcement and minority individuals. When I got in, we talked about so many more things, and we brought up the topic of homelessness, which is what I want to focus on more now that I'm in here, and it was just a great experience. So it keeps me coming because I know I'm one of the people who are advocating for the youth of Oakland. Like, that's me, like I'm the bridge, you know?
I love that. You're the
Boss.
bridge.
Yes, the bridge.
I love that. So you talk to your friends. Do your friends know that you're on the commission?
No, I don't really talk about like what I do outside of school. You know, if they find out, they find out. You
They
know?
might have some ideas to share with you.
Yeah, that's true. I do talk to my like teachers and everything. and they're
Okay.
like, wow, you know?
I love that. Miss Deverani, tell us what brought you to the city of Oakland with the commission.
Well, you know, you see like a lot of issues going on around the city that pertain to youth. So CSEC is a really important issue, commercial sexual exploitation of children. So that's something that we've talked about a lot in the Youth Commission. We've also talked a lot about youth homelessness and, you know, issues pertaining to security at school, making sure that students feel safe at school. So there's so many things that we have to bring to the city's attention, you know, and the only people that will do that in the proper way is the youth, because these are youth issues, you know, so I think that's really what my goal was to just bring these issues to light and really get the city's attention on these issues.
Has it been working?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I've been able to bring my input, and we've really worked on a lot of good things.
Excellent. Miss Karina, you don't get the chance to volunteer. This is your day job. But tell us why this is not all that you do in your role with the city. So what kind of brought you to working with the Youth Commission?
Yeah, I myself am a Oakland native, Oakland resident. I went to Oakland Public Schools. I volunteered when I was their age. I felt like I was pretty active myself. And so being able to serve the youth as a city staff member through the Oakland Youth Commission kind of feels like a full circle thing, where now I'm actually, you know, engaging with these young people who are already so active, and they're looking for a voice and a place to advocate. And so, you know, what better way to kind of continue what I was already doing than to like look back and say like, hey, you know, you guys want to do this, like, here's a great space to do it because it's already in the ordinance to support their voices. And then like my job is just to bring in the support, bring in the speakers, elevate their voice. You know, it already feels pretty natural for me to try and do that because
I love that.
I care about them.
They have a natural champion. I love that. Deverani, your title is peer advisor. Why is that different from a regular commissioner?
Right. So I've served on the Youth Commission for 2 terms now. This is my 3rd term. And what my role is to kind of help the new commissioners out in terms of just guiding them in the direction and showing them kind of the ways of city government and all that. So yeah, just kind of acting as a leader just below the staff person, you know, and a youth that they can come and talk to if they need advice on how to, you know, get their ideas across.
Do you feel like you all have the support that you need? What does support look like from staff members, from your family, from teachers, friends? What is support? What is your support network as you embark on this commission?
You know what? I'm just going to say I think going into the commission, I was super nervous, but you know, going to meetings all the time, just seeing that you have peers that are always there to support you, whatever, like if you want to speak about an issue, they're always there to support you, you know, maybe help develop that idea and everything, and the staff is always just there for you, you know, it feels like a second family, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
Ben agrees. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you each represent different districts, correct? What districts are you representing?
I'm District 2.
I'm District 1.
District 7.
Excellent. And so you bring the ideas of, and so do you get out in the community? Do you go to community events and kind of feel what's going on in your district before you come to the meetings, or do you get ideas from that?
I mean, I wouldn't say that we're going to events, not exactly for the commission, just because we're community members. And then we're residents of Oakland, so we bring that spirit, and then we can share about who we are and what we feel about.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, this seems like a natural place to take a break. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick break, come back and finish talking with you guys. I've got some questions about how other people can get involved and what you're looking for the commission. We ready for that?
Yeah.
This is Inside City Hall, and we're talking with the Youth Advisory Commission. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ivana Cáceres, and I'm the Director of Community Engagement with the Mayor's Office in the City of Oakland. I'm here to invite you to apply for our boards and commissions. We have about 35 of them, and we believe there's a board or commission for everyone, and we really want to make sure that our boards and commissions reflect the diversity of Oakland. So how do you apply? You head to our city's website, you'll see boards and commissions, click on that. That page will have a listing of all of our boards and commissions, and you'll be able to see what the requirements are, what the meeting times are, if there are any vacancies. Read through those, see which ones interest you, and you can apply for one of them by clicking on the green apply button, or you can apply for a few all at once. You'll be asked to submit your resume as well as a couple sentences of why you're interested, and then once you hit submit, we'll get the application and you'll get a confirmation that you've applied. It takes about 2 to 3 months for us to review the application. The review is handled by either the staff liaison to the board or the board chair or nominating committee, and they're just trying to see that your interests match up and also your qualifications match up with the requirements of the board. That then gets sent to the mayor and I. We prepare a letter of appointment, she'll sign it, and then the ultimate approval and vote is done by City Council. Then the City Clerk's office helps you get sworn in and sign any necessary paperwork. So we want to encourage you to apply. There is a board and commission for everyone. We definitely want people who want to help local government and believe in local government. Boards and commissions work on things that Oaklanders care about, whether it's libraries, parks. There are a number of boards that were created by voter mandates. For example, Measure H created the Sugar Sweetened Beverage Tax Advisory Board. Measure LL created the Police Commission. But ultimately, each board has its own unique set of requirements, and we're really seeking folks from all sorts of life experiences and backgrounds to be a part of each board. So again, we encourage you to apply, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to the mayor's office and myself. So we hope to see you and your application coming in, and then you'll be able to join the 300+ team of excellent volunteers for the City of Oakland.
Welcome back to Inside City Hall. Today we are talking with the Youth Advisory Commission. So right before break, we were getting into the nitty-gritty about what you all do and how you serve. I'd love to hear a little bit more about how we can get other people involved in what you're doing. I'm very taken by this idea of youth leadership right now. There's a lot of youth advocacy. We see Greta Thunberg with environmental awareness. We see the advocates from school shootings coming out and speaking more. Touch on that a little bit and let our viewers know about how you stay inspired and what gives you that push to have your voice being heard at this young age. Anyone.
For the how to get involved part, what I did was, besides looking for how to get involved in the community, you go on the Oakland Youth Advisory Commission website. There's an application link, and you enter, basic information about yourself, and then they'll ask you questions like, why do you want to get involved in the community? Like, what's a topic that you really want to take on? And I wrote about homelessness because when driving to school every day, I always come across lots of tent encampments, and I see children there, and it just breaks my heart. So I really wanted to get involved and decrease the homelessness population. So homeless population, excuse me. So yeah, and then after that, they'll notify you for an interview process, and then you'll get asked kind of the same questions, but you'll get to talk to people, can see your personality, which is very nice, see if you're chirpy and all that and excited. So yeah, I think after that.
And you all are all involved in other things outside, so you are the youth that's advocating for the next day, the next generation. What is it that keeps you going for that?
I directed a film called Dignity, which focused on the displacement of people due to gentrification in the city, and kind of how that's affecting women and girls particularly. And through the Youth Commission, I was able to build a lot of connections and get interviews from city officials who, gave their input from a city perspective and explained what the city is doing to make it, to improve this homelessness crisis. Yeah.
And I have to say, we're being very formal and very professional here, but I will break fourth wall and say that I watched Dignity. It was amazing. It was a very good piece of work, so well done to you. And also you reached out to one of the directors that I work with and interviewed her for the film. We were all very impressed with it.
Thank you.
Ben, you, during commercial break, shared a whole lot more. So we know that you have a life. We know that you do a whole lot more. Tell us about advocacy and what it means to you and some of the other things that you're involved with.
Yeah, so I feel like at the moment my current passion is just lifting up the voices of others around me. So through leadership, I serve my student government, and I'm also part of the School Site Council, which helps organize equitable funding for programs at my school. And then also through just news and media, I'm a writer on my newspaper, The Scribe at Oakland Tech, and I just try to keep involved.
You touched on something that's it's kind of a buzzword right now. It's a thing that's happening, that's percolating around the nation. What does equity mean to you?
Well, to me, equity is basically equal support for different groups that need it, as well as representation of all of the important different ethnicities and religions and cultural groups and, I guess, communities in Oakland. So making sure everyone has a voice.
I like that. I like the way that you talked about diversity in many levels. Diversity is not just what we look like, it's income, it's our age. And so you all are definitely diversifying the old government, if you will, that backlog. Karina, what is it that you see in these youths that keeps the city, that makes that motivation for keeping them around and keeping this commission relevant and making sure that it's an important voice that's heard?
Yeah, I think we also touched on this during break too, was what Ben said was that when youth speak, they inherently are talking about equity. So when you get the youth to share their perspective, they're going to be really honest, really transparent, and really critical. And I think when we get older, we lose that a little bit, and having youth constantly bring a fresh perspective and bring their passion, they can, really open up new doors. And they did that actually at the U.S. Census 20 20 presentation, our presenter came and he was like, this is the first commission I'm presenting to, and I'm doing that on purpose because you all are going to ask me really good questions. And they asked them great questions.
That's Oakland.
Yeah.
That's Oakland. So how many spaces or are there vacancies right now on the commission? There are vacancies. Excellent. So those watching could get involved. And so going to our website and looking under boards and commissions, they'll find out all the information that they need?
Yeah.
Excellent. Tell me a little bit more about anything that you all feel is important and relevant. This is your time. You've got your voice right now. We know that you're heard regularly, but as we're getting ready to wrap up, as you've had some time to kind of think through your roles, tell us about that one last thing that you want everyone to know, that you want everyone to hear.
Okay, I'm just thinking about this quote. I'm just personally going to say youth needs to get more involved in things like this because nobody knows the youth like the youth. Like, like I said before, we are the bridge. We take their problems, okay, we relay it with us and then send it to the city hall to kind of I think we're the best advocates for our own people. So it's good to have people representing the youth of the community. So.
Yeah, there are thousands of youth in Oakland, and everyone has a voice. And so I would say to any of the youth out there, you should come to one of our meetings. They're on every second and fourth Thursday at 215 Franco Gala Plaza. And everyone is welcome to come and listen and speak. And you're also welcome to come join.
Even if they didn't want to join the commission, they could still come in and sit at a meeting and bring their input because they're open to the public and anyone's welcome to come and join us. I'm personally really happy that we have such a diverse group of youth this term because that's what really matters, is that we're representing all groups based on gender, ethnicity, district. Also, we have like a very diverse representation of each district. And so, yeah.
Devarani, I think the one point that you made that's really important is for folks to come and be in the audience. Maybe you're not ready to be a commissioner just yet, but come and be in the audience. Sit there and actually hear what's going on, the conversations, and what's happening in the city. Karina, anything that you want to add?
Well, to that point, all of our agendas are always posted on the website. If you're interested in knowing where we're meeting and what we're talking about, they can go. They could actually just search Oakland Youth Advisory Commission on Google. They'll see our website. They'll see where our minutes are, our agendas are. If there's a change in the location of our meeting, they'll also see that. So typically we're in hearing room 3. Sometimes that changes because of schedules. So just check there and see where we're at.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. Kimora, Benjamin, Devarani, Karina, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate the work that you do on behalf of the City of Oakland, and thank you for volunteering your time, and thanks for being some really awesome youth that are about to lead us in the future. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate you being here today and representing the board. This has been Inside City Hall with Autumn King. We thank you once again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.